I am Malcolm MJ Harris. I'm the CEO of a company called National Care, which happens to be one of America's largest African American owned financial services companies. In my career, I've helped so many people protect their money and make a lot of it. And I can tell you this, one of the areas that I see so many people, especially people of color, shut out of is the stock market. And they're not shut out of it because of any systemic barriers. They're shut out of it because of a lack of knowledge on how to make money within the stock market. So I have made it my mission to teach people all over the world how to make money in the stock market, because it's my belief that everyone deserves access to this amazing opportunity. In this free gift, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you about one of my favorite investment options. They're called mutual funds. Now, I know many of you all have heard about mutual funds, but a lot of you don't know how they work. I'm going to teach you how they work. I'm going to teach you how you can make money with mutual funds, and I'm also going to teach you how I choose mutual funds for myself when I'm buying them with my own money. Beyond that, I'm also going to give a very special gift to those of you all who are ready to take action. For those of you all who are saying, you know what, it's not enough just for me to know about one type of investment option. I want to learn the fundamentals of the stock market as a whole. For those of you all, I have a very special gift for you that will allow you to be able to build out a strong foundational level of knowledge on how to invest in the stock market so that you can be enabled to make as much money as you desire, and most importantly, as much money as you deserve within this global money-making machine. So I want you to listen closely. I want you to take notes. And as I mentioned before, I want you to listen all the way until the end, because I do have a very special gift for those of you all who are ready to start changing your lives in the U.S. stock market. All right, folks, let's go ahead and jump in and talk about mutual funds and why I love them, and most importantly, how I pick mutual funds that have made me a lot of money up to this point, okay? So first of all, what a mutual fund is it is a way to pool your money with other investors' money so that you all can have your money invested by a professional money manager. We call those money managers portfolio managers. So think about it like a highly sophisticated investment club. You buy shares of the mutual fund, other investors buy shares of that same mutual fund, and then the portfolio manager who manages that fund takes that money and then buys investments within the fund. So when I'm looking for investments for mutual funds, what I first of all look at is I want to know what type of investments is the portfolio manager buying? So if you look at this website that I'm on right now, it's called the New Perspective Fund, and this fund is offered by American Funds. American Funds is what we call a fund family, which means that they are a company that owns and manages mutual funds. Very straightforward, all right? I'm not recommending this particular mutual fund because I don't know your investment objectives, all right? And as a responsible financial professional, I can't make any recommendations to you without knowing your specific situation. I'm simply using this particular fund to show you how mutual funds work and how I choose mutual funds that work for me, okay? So if you go to this company's website, one of the things that you'll see is different sections. We've got summary, returns, ratings and risk, holdings, and other information, all right? For the sake of today, I'm going to focus on summary, returns, which is how much money has this mutual fund made. I'm also going to focus on resources and holdings, all right? So if we go down to summary, in the summary, you'll see that this mutual fund has a description list beside it. You will find this information for almost every mutual fund out there because they are required by law to share this information with you. So the objective of this fund is pretty straightforward. This fund's objective is to provide you with long-term growth for your capital, which means it's designed to grow your money and make you money, all right? Future income is a secondary objective, all right? So the primary focus of this particular fund is to make you money, to grow your capital, all right? So within this section, one of the things you'll also see is how long has this fund been around? Well, this one's been around for almost 45 years, since 1973. I'm going to tell you this right now. When I look at investments for myself, I want to choose investments that have been around for at least as long as I've been alive, all right? I'm 33 right now, okay? And so I want to know that you've been through multiple recessions, multiple presidential administrations. I want to know that you've been around through multiple wars, all right? Because I need to see how the fund's been managed during different economic cycles, all right? You can also see how much assets are in this fund. So this one says right here, this is in millions. So lots of assets in that fund, right? How many companies is this mutual fund invested in? Over 240. How many shareholder accounts? So how many accounts are in this mutual fund? How many people are buying into it? Over 1.6 million, okay? So lots of people are in this. And of course, what's the minimum investment if you want to get into this fund? $250, all right? So that's the first thing I look at is I want to know how long has the fund been around, how many companies are in it, how many investors are in it, all right? Now, I'll tell you, this looks good to me because it's been around for a while. Lots of people are in this fund, lots of assets, lots of companies invested, and very low cost to get into this fund. What I wouldn't want to see here is that the fund was started in 2015 and that it's only got a couple $1 million in assets in it. It's only got maybe 25 companies in it, and it's got 400 investors. I don't want to see nothing like that. I need something that stood the test of time and that has assets in it, because my logic is this: if other investors are confident in it, that doesn't mean it's a great fund, but it does mean that it's something for me to at least consider. Okay, so what's the next thing I look at? The next thing I want to know is, what is this mutual fund actually investing in? Well, you can look at the holdings section. Like I said, different funds will have different sections on their website, but this one is called holdings. Okay, so what we see is that they're invested in IT, consumer discretionary spending, which is like products and clothes and things of that nature, financial services, consumer staples, so that's things like food and things of that nature, healthcare, all kinds of things. You can see the companies that they're invested in: Amazon, Facebook, Google. I love it because even with the company that they have the largest shares with them, which is Amazon, they only have 4.4% of the money in there. So that means that even if this company went down, then that still means it still represents less than 95% of where these funds are actually invested. All right, only 4.4% of the mutual funds holdings are within Amazon. So I like that because you're diversified. So if Amazon goes down for whatever reason, but all the other companies are performing just fine, you may not feel the effect of Amazon stock going down. So I love that about mutual funds, because they give you a way to invest with a professional money manager and be really diversified in how your money is being invested, so that if any one stock goes down, you may not really be all that affected by it on paper. So I love that. All right, now let's go over to the return section. This is the most important section, all right, because this is going to give you some indication of how this fund might perform. All right, so what this is showing you is how has this fund performed over the years. I love this information. All right, I'll tell you this: how an investment has performed in the past is not an indication of how it will perform in the future. I'm going to say that again. Past performance is not an indication of future performance. But here's my belief and my own experience: what an investment has done in the past can be a good indicator of what this investment is capable of. It's not guaranteed to do it, but what is it capable of? So we can see right here that since 1973, this particular mutual fund has done an average of 12.18% per year in returns. Isn't that incredible? If you say, well, Malcolm, I don't know if this is incredible or not. Well, what I want you to think about is, how much returns do you get on the money in your checking account every year? Probably barely 1%, if that, okay? So the blue column is this mutual fund. You'll see a gray column here. What that gray column is it's showing you what has a fund that has a similar investment objective. How has that performed compared to this? So they're kind of letting you see how a competitor has performed. So we can see in the last 10 years, which I love looking at the last 10 years because that includes our last big recession, we can see that it's still done an average of 6.92% per year in returns. If we look at the last 5 years, it's done an average of 10% per year in returns. A little over 10, but nonetheless, let's round and say 10%. Last 3 years, it's done just under 8%. So 7.98% per year. That's the average returns it's done each year. Last year, 8.65% is the return that is done. I like this. I like this information because of the fact that it gives you perspective on past performance. I'll tell you this: even though you'll see in the last year that it's not performing as good as the other fund that is kind of showing you as a competitor, so to speak, I wouldn't worry about that myself, because in my opinion, you should not be investing in anything unless you want to be in that investment for at least 5 years. All right. So you should not be putting all your savings in here. You should have money in here where, after you've put aside your rainy day fund, the money you invest is the money that is beyond and above your rainy day fund. This is the money that you can afford to kind of put aside. Maybe it's money for your retirement, things of that nature. That's the real money that you want to focus on investing. You don't want to put the money that you're saving for a rainy day in investments, because investments will fluctuate over the years. They're designed to grow, but they will fluctuate over the years. So I like to look at that. So if we look at the last 5 years as an example, which is 10.02%, let's just do a little example here. Let's say that you did an investment of $250, right? And you were to go in here for the last 5 years, right? And let's say that you say, I'm going to put in $250 and I'm going to maybe do, let's say $100 a month every month, right? And let's say that you did this in your checking account, which let's say gets about 0.5% in interest. Look at this. you would have put in a total of $6,250, and your balance at the end of that period would be approximately $6,258. So you basically would have made about $8.25 in a 5-year period of time. That ain't even worth your time, okay? Let me tell you this. You can't even get yourself a good cup of coffee for $8 here in LA, so let me tell you, it's not worth it, okay? Now, let's say that you did the same thing, same money, $250 to start out, over 5 years, adding $100 a month, but you did it in the mutual fund that we just talked about, and you were getting an average of 10.2% every year. Let's see what you get there. I'm going to tell you it's going to be better. Look at this. So you would have put in $6,250 over that period of time, but at the end of the period, you would have $8,123.98. So you would have made almost $2,000, all right? And of course, the more you put in it, the more opportunity you have for making money within this thing. This is why I like mutual funds, all right? So for those of you all who really, really, really enjoy learning about investments, for those of y'all who say, I want to make money, let me tell you, I like mutual funds as a place to make money, because I'll tell you this, they are excellent, because rather you are a novice investor who's never invested a day before, or you're an investor who's been investing for a long time, but you just don't have the time to pick investments, mutual funds can be a great option for you to consider. So as I mentioned before, just to recap, the information I look at when I'm looking at mutual funds is I want to know the summary. So I want to know, what are they investing in? I want to know how long they've been around. How many companies are they invested in? How much money do they have? What's the minimum investment to get in? I want to know their returns. So how have they been performing over time? I need to know this information. That's very important for you to know. It's very straightforward there. I also want to know one other piece of information here. I want to know, who are the portfolio managers, right? You should know who's handling your money, right? So within that, you can go to something called the prospectus, which can give you some of that information. But I like to go to what we call the single sheet. Go right there and click view. On here, you can see it's a summary of the mutual fund, gives all the information, just sort of summarized in just 2 pages, all right? And then right here, you see these are the individuals that's managing this fund, all right? What we can see right here is that they have a median of 29 years of experience in investments, all right? So these are some sharp people. And what I love about portfolio managers is this: they're not going to keep their jobs for very long if they're not making money for the mutual funds that they're supposed to be managing, all right? So look at them. You can see who all the portfolio managers are. Personally, I like funds that have at least 4 portfolio managers, all right? I don't like looking at funds that have one person managing it, because here's the thing. I need to know that that individual has other smart people that they're working beside, because when smart people come together, they can make great decisions together. One person, that's not enough for me, all right? I need to know that we've got multiple people there managing the money, all right? So that's what I like to look at when I'm looking at mutual funds, all right? So I hope this information is helpful. I will encourage you to go ahead and listen again to lock this information in. And as I mentioned before, for those of y'all who want to learn more, I definitely have something very, very, very special for you, all right? So now you see why mutual funds are one of my favorite investment options, because they really can be a great option. Rather you are a brand new investor with a couple $100s to try it out with, or you are someone with millions of dollars and tons of investment experience. Mutual funds can be a great place for you to be able to make money investing and not have to be an expert really on the stock market to start. So here's the thing. For those of you all who are ready to take action, for those of y'all who are saying, I want to learn to start investing because I want to have the whole breadth of the stock market available to me, what I'm doing for the first time ever is I'm making available my course, How to Start Investing in the Stock Market. In this course, you're going to learn so many things. You're going to learn not just about mutual funds, you're going to learn about how to invest in stocks. You're going to learn about how to invest in bonds. You're going to learn how to choose a broker and tons of other tips. This is extremely valuable information, because when they say knowledge is power, this is the type of knowledge that can really supercharge you into being able to have a powerful financial future. In addition to the video courses, which you can watch in the comfort of your home whenever you like to, all right? You can come back, rewatch them. You have a lifetime access to them. In addition to those, what you're also going to get access to is my 3 new ebooks. My first book is called How to Build a Powerful Financial Mindset. This book will supercharge your mindset around not just how to invest, but how do you think about money differently. Beyond that, you're going to learn how to create an investment club so that if you desire to, you can invest with your friends and create a powerful financial future for you as well as all your family and friends. Beyond that, you're going to also get my guide to how to manage your 401k, because the reality is that most Americans' money is housed within their 401k. So if you're learning how to invest, yes, you absolutely need to learn how to manage your 401k because that's really complimentary information. Normally, all of this information is valued at over $1,000, but here's the thing. For those of you all who are ready to take action now, for those of you all who are ready to change your lives and start building wealth within the stock market, I've got something very special for you. I am offering a Fast Start Scholarship that will give you a very significant discount on all this information so that you can begin to access it right now. You're going to get the videos, you're going to get the ebooks. In addition to that, you're also going to get my Money Mindsets course, which is valued at over $350, all right? You're going to get all of that if you take action within a very limited amount of time. The reason why I'm doing that is because of this. I don't want money to be a reason why you don't access information that can truly change not just your life, but the lives of your children, your relatives, your family, and your friends. I don't want money to be a reason why you don't access that. So for those of you all who are serious and ready to take action now, my Fast Start Scholarship is available to you. Now, with all this information, you will get lifetime online access across all of your favorite mobile devices, which means you can watch it at home, you can listen to it in the car. However you want to access this information, you can access whenever you want to and however often that you want to. So what I want you to do is go ahead and follow the link below this video to go ahead and sign up. I'll see you at the top.